Ever feel like you're staring up at this huge SEO mountain? You got to climb it, but it's all ugh, technical jargon and crazy strategies.
Yeah, it can definitely feel intimidating.
Right, you're not alone, and that is what we are tackling today.
Okay, I like it. Lay it on me.
We're doing a deep dive into the Hobo Pro SEO audit training course.
Okay.
And get this, we got our hands on like actual audit materials,
Oh, wow.
not just the marketing stuff.
Interesting.
Like it's a backstage pass to how the pros do SEO audits.
I am intrigued.
So this course, what's different is it's less about theory, more about giving you the skills to do SEO audits yourself.
Okay. Practical.
Practical, yeah. They use Google Search Console, which you've probably heard of,
Sure.
along with Hobo's own checklists and tools.
Gotcha.
But here's the cool part. Sean Anderson, the SEO guy behind it, he walks you through live audits. Like you're right there with him.
Oh, so it's like you're shadowing him in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it's delivered monthly, so you don't get like overloaded with info.
That's smart. So crucial. I mean, it's easy to drown in information.
Totally.
This way you can actually focus and master each piece.
Yes. And speaking of mastering, they really push that this course is unlike any other. Like they go deep on the why, not just the what of audits.
Interesting. So you come away being able to, analyze any website?
Exactly. Which in today's world is pretty huge, right?
It is. I mean, whether you're a business owner, a marketer, even just curious about how sites rank, knowing this SEO stuff is like a superpower.
Totally. So remember those real-world audit materials? Things just got real. We saw an actual Hobo SEO report. Comprehensive is an understatement.
No kidding.
It estimates the time,
Yeah.
the cost to fix each issue. Up front, like that.
Transparency. I like it.
And get this, it doesn't just stop at like, oh, you have duplicate content or you've got broken links. It goes deeper, analyzes core web vitals, page experience, even links to stuff. Like there's a blog post about how load times affect, the whole user experience, which is key for SEO now.
It's like they've thought of everything. That level of detail, it says a lot about the course. They're not just spotting problems, but they're giving you the why and the what, the solutions, the tools to fix them.
Exactly. Like duplicate content sounds harmless enough, but it can tank your ranking.
Oh, yeah. Google sees that as confusing, doesn't know which version of the content is like the real one.
Right.
So it might rank a worse page or even, penalize the whole site. The Hobo report, it doesn't just point it out, it tells you why it's a problem.
And even with the super jargony SEO stuff, they break it down. No just throwing around canonical URLs or HSTS headers like you're supposed to know. They explain it all.
It's about giving you the power as the website owner to actually get your SEO strategy right. And that's really the key. It's not just checking boxes, it's understanding the how and why of SEO and using it to actually make your site better.
Totally. And speaking of using it, let's talk about the treasure chest of SEO gold they give you with this course, the checklists.
Okay, I'm listening.
We're talking a massive list. Technical SEO, Google Search Console stuff, mobile optimization, page experience, on and on.
Wow. Sounds comprehensive.
The amount of info in these checklists alone is wild. It's like they took years of SEO experience and made it into like these actionable guides.
And that's what's so cool about it. It's not just videos or lectures. It's like a toolkit you can keep coming back to as SEO changes.
Exactly. I'm already feeling more confident about tackling these audits myself. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's dive into the specifics of how this course actually works. Remember, we mentioned it's delivered in monthly installments.
Right.
Well, there's more. You actually get instant access to Sean's pro checklist, so you can start, like, doing stuff right away.
Oh, I like that. So you can get a head start.
Exactly. And it's smart for other reasons, too. Some people, they want to dive in, get their hands dirty. Others, they like to take it slow. This way, everyone's happy.
Makes sense. You can start with that checklist and then go deeper each month as the new stuff comes in.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of going deep, they really get into Google Search Console, which is like a goldmine for SEO data.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They even show you how to do a full audit of your own website using it.
Nice.
And remember, you're learning from Sean, who's been doing SEO for like over 20 years.
Right.
This isn't just some guy reading a textbook. He's got stories, real examples from his own audits.
That's where you get those aha moments,
Totally. It's like having an SEO mentor right there with you. And that whole unique thing we talked about, the live audits, those crazy detailed checklists, direct access to Sean. it all adds up.
Yeah, for sure. Most courses, it's like generic videos, right? This feels way more like personal, real world.
And those checklists, by the way, they cover a ridiculous amount of SEO stuff. 17 checklists in total. We're talking everything from the nitty-gritty technical SEO, like fixing broken links, site speed, all that,
Uh-huh.
to mobile optimization, page experience, even e-commerce SEO.
They even have one for international SEO, which is interesting. Shows they're thinking globally with this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like they want you to be able to audit any website anywhere, which reminds me, remember how we said their first round had students from like 30 countries?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
It's impressive, right?
Yeah.
Shows the quality, but also how much demand there is for this stuff all over.
Absolutely. Knowing SEO, it's not limited to one place anymore. It's a global game now.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
you're joining this whole community of SEO people. But okay, let's get back to that sample Hobo SEO audit report. There's so much good stuff in there we got to unpack for our listeners.
Absolutely. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. One thing that jumped out at me was how much they focus on this whole duplicate content thing. And it's not just like finding pages that are word for word the same. That's the easy part. They go deeper.
Yeah.
Like where Google might think pages are duplicates even if they're not exactly identical, you know.
Exactly. And this is where, remember we mentioned those canonical URLs earlier?
Right.
This is where it gets important. The report points out if Google's chosen a different page as the main one, the canonical one.
Which means Google's basically saying this is the version I think is most important.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've got multiple versions of your content floating around, Google gets confused.
Right, like which one should I be paying attention to here?
And that can hurt your ranking.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hobo report doesn't just say, oh, you messed up. It helps you understand the whole canonicalization thing and how to fix it.
Which is huge because most people, they see duplicate content, they freak out, but they don't know what to do about it.
Exactly. And what about broken links? Oof, the worst.
Right.
This audit doesn't just flag them, it tells you what kind they are, so
Yeah.
you know which ones to fix first.
So you're not just blindly going after every broken link, you've got a strategy.
Yes, you got internal 404s, those are broken links within your own site.
Right.
And then you got external 404s, those are links pointing to dead pages on other websites.
And those can be tricky to track down sometimes.
Totally. The report even gets granular, like, is it a broken link because of your website template, or is it just on one specific page?
Yeah.
That's helpful.
It is. It's like having a to-do list that's actually prioritized. You know what's going to have the biggest impact. Work smarter, not harder, right?
I love that. It's like a roadmap to fixing your website SEO-wise.
Okay.
And speaking of roadmaps, remember how we were saying how important security is for SEO now?
Oh, yeah. Huge.
The Hobo audit, it does not mess around. It jumps right into website security, flags any potential issues that could hurt your ranking or, even worse, put your users at risk.
Because nowadays, security isn't a nice to have, it's a must have.
For sure.
And the report, it reflects that. They're doing these deep security checks, making sure your website is not just good for Google, but safe for people visiting too.
And get this, they even call out things like if you're missing those, what they call HSTS headers.
Right. Those are key for making sure browsers always use HTTPS. So, like, the connection between your site and the user is, encrypted, secure.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like they've thought of every little security thing. But it doesn't stop there. The audit also digs into core web vitals, which is all about how Google measures user experience to rank websites. Right?
Yeah, it's becoming more and more important. Basically, Google's saying, hey, we want people to land on sites that are actually good to use.
Makes sense?
Fast loading, smooth, if you're like clicking around, no janky stuff visually. The Hobo report looks at all that, gives you a sense of how your site's doing, like through the eyes of a visitor.
And remember how it links to other resources? Like that's where the blog post about load times was. They don't just say you're slow. They give you info to actually fix it.
It's like having a little SEO tutor right there, walking you through everything.
Totally. And here's the best part. The report actually estimates how long it'll take to fix each issue and how much it'll probably cost. So you're not just stuck with, oh, no problems. You have a plan.
Exactly. It's all about giving you the power, right? You, as the website owner, you get to decide how to approach your SEO based on what you know, not just guessing.
Love that. It's like having a clear to-do list for your website. Oh, and we can't forget about those soft 404 errors it flags too.
Ah, yeah, those tricky things. That's where a page, it gives the 200 OK signal, like, hey, everything's fine. But when you actually look at it, it's basically an error page in disguise.
Sneaking in there.
Yeah.
But the report explains why those are bad, like how they confuse Google hurt your website's authority, all that.
It's about making those connections, between the techie SEO stuff and what it actually means for your website out there in the wild.
Exactly. And speaking of connections, they even point out things like if your images are missing alt text.
Easy to overlook, but so important.
Right. You might think, who cares about alt text? But they explain it really well. How it helps people with, visual impairments who use screen readers.
Yeah.
Makes your site more accessible.
Absolutely. Everyone should be able to access the web.
Exactly. And it helps Google understand your images, too. So you might rank better for image searches or just in general make your content seem more relevant.
It's all those little things that add up to a better website, really.
For sure. So we've gone deep on this Hobo Pro SEO audit training course, seen their actual audit report. What's the takeaway? What do you think?
If you're serious about this SEO audit stuff, like really understanding it and using it to get websites ranking there, this course seems like the real deal. It's clear, it's actionable.
Yeah.
That's what matters, right? Not just theory.
Totally. And those checklists, they're like an SEO Bible. Everything's in there.
For sure. It's like they've condensed years of knowledge into this amazing resource.